What's up, collectors? Welcome back to Films by Color, and welcome back to our weekly show where we go through everything that's coming out this week in physical media, from Blu-rays to 4Ks, from boutiques to mainstream releases. We're going to cover it all right here, and I'm going to talk to you guys live as I do that. This is our special Halloween episode. If you haven't noticed, let me know in the comments if you can tell who I'm dressed as, but I just shot the October wrap-up video with Grace, and we put on our Halloween costumes for that. So literally, she just walked out of the room, and I'm starting this. So sorry I'm a few minutes late, but we just got that video shot, and that was a lot of fun. I can't wait to get that out. But I am, of course, dressed up as the wonderful Paul Hackett from After Hours. Wonderful movie. I've watched it 4 times this year, and I absolutely love it. It's incredible, and that is the great Griffin Dunn. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. We shot that video talking about the pre-code horror films, but now we're going to completely change gears, and we're going to talk about some new releases. So I'm going to jump over immediately to my second camera here, but first let me say hello to some folks in the chat. People are already here. Let me see. So Kevin House popped in. Alden Tuttle says, darn, I'm going to miss this stream because I'm watching the Batman for Halloween. Basically, I pre-ordered my copy of Mission Impossible a month ago, so I'm ready for tomorrow. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. A lot of things dropping tomorrow, of course, on Halloween. We're doing this the night before Halloween, and we've got a lot to get to. Let me see. Ethan Edwards says either he's a zombie or he has a coke problem. None of the above. None of the above, but watch After Hours because it's amazing. Wow, creating content for his channel has really aged you. Seriously, that's not even a joke. That's true. Internet user got it. He says, Paul Hackett, how have you been? Yeah, maybe I should have let that go a little longer, but yeah, you already got it, internet user. Welcome, welcome. Glad you guys are here. Let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and jump into the new releases for this week. 5 weeks in this month. So I mean, I started this in October, and we're still in October, and we've already had 5 episodes of this show. So I'm having a lot of fun with it, and some cool things coming out this week, starting with Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Very long, egregious title, but the movie's coming out tomorrow. So if you like the movie, it's obviously coming out in all the formats: 4K, Blu-ray, maybe a DVD. I'm sure they still do DVDs for this. This is from Paramount Pictures, and you've got the standard release, which is pictured here and in the thumbnail. Same kind of poster style that we're doing for every action movie these days, where it's just kind of tiered actor appearances until you got the main character with a big giant head at the top. And we usually are doing a lot of like diagonal lines ever since like Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I think one of the Fast and Furious movies did that. So we've been doing that a lot lately. That's the trend. We've also got, if you are not a fan of that slipcover or that poster, we've got a Steelbook coming out this week as well. You can pick it up tomorrow, I'm sure, in your local Best Buys. There's the Steelbook. It's just the font treatment in an interesting way with the train stunt. If you've seen the film, the end of the movie is a big train stunt, and there it is, depicted right there. Nice red and black. Hopefully they put out a Part 2 Steelbook that kind of matches the style of this, although I don't think it's still called Part 2. I think they're changing the name of it because it got pushed back a little bit, but who knows? Hopefully they still put out a matching Steelbook for you collectors who like those to look similar. And then we've got the most exciting thing this month for me. I think we're coming right out of the gate hot. We've got Alfred Hitchcock Classic Collection Volume 3. This is, let me show you, pop over here real quick. So if you don't know about these, there are these Hitchcock collections. This is volume 1. You've got the nice red and black scheme, and these are lovely digibooks that you can open up, and each disc has its own page, and nice collections. I've got volume 1, which has Rear Window, Vertigo, Psycho, and the Birds, and then volume 2, which has 5 films: Saboteur, Shadow of a Doubt, The Trouble with Harry, Marnie, and Family Plot. Now this, so you've got the red and the blue. Tomorrow comes volume 3, which is a lovely green color. And here we go. There it is. There's the poster. There's the cover. The Alfred Hitchcock Classics Collection, volume 3. It includes Rope, The Man Who Knew Too Much, the 50s version, not the 30s version, and then Torn Curtain, Topaz, and Frenzy. So this is another incredible set. I think it is retailing, though, at $70, and it's not on sale for pre-order right now. So even on Amazon, it's still $70. I'm going to have to wait until that price drops a little bit because I don't think I can drop $70 on it. And I don't think it's going to go out of print because these two were in print for a long time. I think they still are in print. So I think I'm going to be fine there. I'm not worried about missing out on a copy, but I would like to have this in my collection eventually. I've got all of the Hitchcock films that are in the Criterion collection, and then I've got these 2 volumes. So this is a pretty big chunk of his filmography once you have all of these. So here it is. Here's the back. This is what the back of the collection looks like. We have no idea what the inside looks like. The inside artwork is not shown here, but maybe I will buy this. I'd like to buy it so I could do a review on it and show you what the inside looks like, but I don't know if I can drop $70 right now. That's pretty steep, but we'll see. We will see. That's very, very exciting, though. I'm so glad they kept that going. I was worried it was just going to be those 2, and we are never going to get those last few films. But we're getting volume 3, and maybe there'll be a 4. Who knows? And then we've got a few. Let me talk to the chat real quick because people are just showing up and are freaking out about my appearance. So we've got Kyle's movie collection here. Hey, we've got Chuck Walt, who's a name that I don't immediately recognize. Welcome, welcome. Michael Smith. Grace should make an appearance in these, if only to say hi. I actually asked her tonight because we were already shooting a video and she wanted to go to bed. So she's not going to be in it tonight, but I'll get her on here eventually. It would be fun to have 2 people on these, someone to talk back and forth with. John, hey, maybe John can come over and be on one of these one time. John's my good friend who lives in the area, and he says, amazing. Thanks, man. I had a lot more white powder on me before, but we shot a whole video, so it's been on me for like an hour, so most of it has fallen off onto my desk, and I just have like a white dusting all over everything. I'm hoping I don't ruin my mouse and my keyboard and everything. Henry Bidenkamp is here. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween, guys. This is really cool. I'm glad this didn't wind up on Halloween night because then nobody would be here, but it's the night before. And now this is here. Hopefully I didn't miss a lot. You didn't miss anything. We're just getting started. We've only talked about 2 things on the list. Kevin House says, I think Frenzy is an underrated Hitchcock film. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Because, I mean, most of his stuff is pretty highly rated, so that's cool. I haven't seen that one yet. I've only seen Rope and The Man Who Knew Too Much. I quite liked them. Yes, those are both great. I'm a weirdo that actually prefers the 30s version over the 50s remake of The Man Who Knew Too Much, but that one's great too. You got Jimmy Stewart. Can't go wrong with Jimmy Stewart. Ethan Edwards also loves Frenzy. And then we've got, yes, more Hitchcock movies, please. I love them. Yes, I mean, most people do. He had a pretty good batting average, and I'm so glad that we're getting 5 more of his films. Yeah, 5 more in that collection, which is pretty sweet. Michael Smith says it's only 55 on Grub. Okay, now we're talking. That's doable. 55 for 5 films, that's actually really good. I haven't got on the Grub train. I need to finally hop on the bandwagon and check out some of those other sites. I'm such a weirdo with like damage. Like I'm so worried they're going to get damaged and show up like completely smashed, especially because these aren't the, I mean, the book is pretty sturdy, but this little flimsy, I imagine this is super easy to get smashed. Amazingly, this got here from Amazon without being completely squished. Yeah, Ethan says it'll be half price on Amazon at some point. Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. These ones I got these for a really good deal, so I'm assuming those will drop. Yep. He also says it's on Grove. And then Internet User says if only North by Northwest gets a 4K. That's the big one. I think that's locked up by WB. I have the Blu-ray. Let me grab this real quick. I have this North by Northwest. This is the Blu-ray. Obviously not a 4K yet, but I do really like this digibook. I'm scared to touch it right now because I'm going to get white powder all over it. But I think this is the coolest version of this, the coolest release of this film. If you don't have this one, check that one out. But yeah, I would love a 4K release of that as well. I think that would be really cool. Let me put this down here so I don't continue to shed all over it the entire show. New name here. We've got Ignacio Alvarez Malo. Whew. You're going to have to coach me on pronouncing that. Sorry about that horrid pronunciation, but good to see you. Let's hop back into the new releases. All right, we've got a slew of releases from a company that we haven't talked about on this series yet at all. Company I know nothing about, basically. I know a little bit, but not much. It's Vinegar Syndrome, which releases films that are completely out of my wheelhouse. I don't know much about Vinegar Syndrome, but I know they produce kind of, what would you call them? How would you describe Vinegar Syndrome? Is it exploitation films from mostly the 70s and 80s, I assume, maybe a little bit later. But this first one is called Ghost Nursing, and these are I think Vinegar Syndrome films come out as like a subscription service. So I don't know if you're going to be able to find these in stores. It says it's available on Amazon, so I guess you can. I guess you can subscribe and get them all in one collection, or you can buy them separately. This is a very trippy looking, creepy cover here. I'm worried what screenshots I'm going to get. Hopefully it just doesn't get flagged. But yeah, that's a very, very cool cover. I read the synopsis. It doesn't sound like something I'd be interested in, but I know there's a huge market for Vinegar Syndrome films, and that one's coming out tomorrow. Along with, we've also got Evil Judgment, which you can see right there, and these also all have slip covers, which is very cool. I know Vinegar Syndrome always does those slip covers, at least for the first run. The first printings, they do those. And then another one here is called Curse of the Screaming Dead, and it's got this really creepy artwork of this like melted face, and also there is a slipcover, and I love that they do different artwork on the slipcover, but this one they don't. This one has the same artwork, so I said that too soon. But the back of the artwork, the back of the slipcover looks really good too. So yeah, there you go. I'm not, like I said, I'm not familiar with those films. I don't know if anyone's familiar with those films before Vinegar Syndrome puts them out. They usually are like, because I think they make those films a lot more popular. So yeah, this one's actually got 2 movies in it. It's got Curse of the Cannibal Confederates and Night of Horror. And it says slipcover in original pressing, like I said. So yeah, if you're into those, you better get them sooner rather than later, because those slipcovers will not last. And then we'll jump into the other big like Hollywood release that came out this month. It is Blue Beetle, which is getting a 4K release with that obnoxious 100 celebrate every story banner at the top, which I don't like. It's so big. It takes up so much of the front. But there it is, Blue Beetle. I have not seen this film yet, but I know a good chunk of people enjoyed it, and it's getting a 4K release. I'm assuming it's also getting a SteelBook release. Let's scroll down real quick and see if we can find that. Oh, it put me all the way back to the top. I hate when it does that. Yes, there it is. There's the SteelBook. SteelBook looks pretty cool. It's got, yeah, the SteelBook looks much better. It's got just the front. It's kind of got that Iron Man. You remember the first Iron Man release where it was just his Iron Man suit and then the slipcover slipped off and then it was just Tony Stark underneath? This isn't that cool. There's no slipcover or anything, but it's got the Blue Beetle on the front and then the main character on the back. I don't know what his name is, but there you go. You like that film? That looks like a pretty cool release. I like the blue, the cyan and magenta color scheme with the neon glow. Looks pretty cool. That is Blue Beetle. Let's see. Let me do a couple more here. Obviously, if you don't like the big digibooks for Alfred Hitchcock, I much prefer the digibooks, but I know some people don't. And if you want to get the individual releases for those are all coming out tomorrow as well. You've got Rope on 4K. There's the front, there's the back, and there is the slipcover, which looks exactly the same. Rope is an excellent film if you haven't seen it. Really great older James Stewart performance. That's from 1948. That's a really good, like, if you want to watch a movie that kind of all takes place in one room, it's just kind of a mystery that he's like unraveling, like Sherlock Holmes style. Is the big Sherlock Holmes finisher at the end where he explains everything. That one's a lot of fun. And then also the other ones are coming out. So you've got another Jimmy Stewart, Man Who Knew Too Much, is getting a 4K release as well. And all of them, all the ones on the list, I don't know if we need to go through all of them. This is Frenzy, which a couple people in the chat already mentioned, starring John Finch and Barry Foster, getting a 4K individual release. And the other two, I'm sure, are getting releases too. I just cannot immediately find them in the list. But yeah, there's Topaz and there's Torn Curtain. So all 5 of those films are getting individual releases if you'd rather have those with slipcovers. But if not, you can pick up the Alfred Hitchcock Classic Collection Volume 3 and get them all in a digibook. And I think it's probably going to be cheaper. Even at the $70 price tag, I think it's going to be cheaper than picking all those up for like $25. But maybe you don't like all the films in there and you just want to get a couple of them. So you've got 2 options for that. 2023 film that's coming out this week is called We Kill for Love. And this is from Yellow Veil Pictures. which I've heard a little bit about. I think that's one of the sister labels that you can get through Vinegar Syndrome. That's not technically Vinegar Syndrome, but it's like related. I think I went to their website one time and there was a couple Yellow Veil Pictures films that I wanted to get. I wish I had done a little research for this, but this is a 2023 film, 163 minutes, comes out tomorrow, and there's a slipcover in the original pressing. I don't know anything about this. The Lost World of the Erotic Thriller. Okay. So trying to bring back erotic thrillers a little bit. That's interesting. Let me know if anyone's seen that film. Just came out this year, and it looks very interesting. Very interesting visuals with the blue color scheme. But I haven't heard anything about that. I haven't heard any news about that. So hopefully that is that's a good one. Let me know what you think. And then the last one we'll talk about before I jump back and chat with you guys in the chat, because it's been a while. The films of Enrique Gomez. This is another Vinegar Syndrome. They're dropping a lot this month. This is 3-movie collection by one director, which is really cool. I love when they do these collections. I love this kind of pop art, stippling comic book style design here with the dots. The films of Enrique Gomez, and it includes Death on the Beach, Johnny Chicano, and Savage Summer. Again, I'm not familiar with the releases of Vinegar Syndrome, but it's a very cool release, if nothing else, visually. Hopefully the films on there are interesting as well. Let me jump back over here and talk to you guys on the main camera. Ethan Edwards, yes, I've had a number of movies come lately with loose discs. Ooh, that's the worst. Packaging is one thing, but if the discs come scratched, that's a huge problem. That's not even just complaining about packaging. That's a real issue. Sorry about that, man. Kevin House, has anybody heard if and when Barnes & Noble will start its November Criterion sale? Good question. Good question, because sometimes they've been starting on the 28th of the month before lately. Obviously, that didn't happen this year, or this month, but I remember in July, they started like June 28th. So, I don't know. I mean, we've got one more day, basically. Tomorrow's the 31st, so it should be starting pretty soon. Hopefully, I can make some videos in that sale, because I really enjoy doing those. And now this, I ordered the dual 4K Steelbook from Grove, and I never had issues with their packaging for my older orders. Awesome. That's great to hear. I'm gonna have to check it out then. That's too, I mean, you're telling me it's $55 and they have good shipping? I'm sold. Good job. I don't know if you have stake in Grove or anything, but you're doing great. Great salesman. I'm on board. I'm gonna check it out. Rainbow Nightmare. Hey, welcome to the stream. Have you seen HBO's Barry? Funny show. I'm on episode 3 of season 3. No, I haven't. It's really hard for me to watch TV. I can't invest in TV shows. I've got so many movies I'm trying to watch, and I just like I just like to sit down in one sitting and get a complete story and move on to another story. I can't stay invested and take like several weeks to watch a show. It's not for me, but I know there's a lot of great shows out there, and hopefully I'll be able to get to them eventually. Kevin House is talking to John. So there you go. They're talking back and forth. I won't interrupt their conversation. Please, by all means, keep talking. I don't want to interrupt you guys. Let's jump back over here to the news, and I'll get a sip of water so I don't lose my voice here, because we've got a lot to get through. Next up, let's see if it's another Vinegar Syndrome that I know nothing about. We've got Magic Crystal on Blu-ray it's a Vinegar Syndrome exclusive, so you won't be able to pick this one up on Amazon. Let's see. This is from 1986, 95 minutes. It's got a pretty cool cover here. It's like a martial arts film, a film by Wong Jing. Okay, that's really cool. So we got a martial arts film that fits into their category of cinema. Slipcover looks really good. That looks really cool. I like it. Can't speak to the film, but I can say that the packaging is pretty neat. All right, let's see. Man, how have we not had any Vinegar Syndromes all month? I guess they drop them. I guess they only do one drop a month, and they drop them all at the same time. This next one is interesting. So we've got the complete Rankin and Bass Christmas collection on Blu-ray. I never thought this was going to happen, honestly. I picked up last year here we go. We've got the Christmas collection that they released on the Christmas Specials collection from on 4K that they released last year. I picked this up because, I like to watch these every year with my kids. I watched them every year growing up, so it's very cool to see to show them these as well. This has just got Rudolph, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and Frosty. This is just the big three, and I figured that was all that was going to come to 4K. But I did not expect even a Blu-ray for these other ones. I've got them here. I'll switch over to my other cam so you can see these a little bigger. I've got this, which is almost everything. This includes so many things. This has got How the Grinch Stole Christmas on here. This has got The Leprechaun's Christmas. This has got Pinocchio's Christmas, The Stingiest Man in Town, Year Without a Santa Claus, Rudolph's Shiny New Year, Nestor, The Long Year Christmas Donkey, Frosty's Winter Wonderland, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, and Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July. So this is a really cool set, but this is DVD. And then there is also this set, which includes a couple things that this set doesn't have. So I pretty much have all the Rankin and Bass stuff between these two. This one includes Jack Frost and the Miser Brothers Christmas, which is not on the red one. So I have all of this, but I would love to get this Blu-ray set that puts it all into one place, and it's much slimmer packaging. I won't need these anymore. These also include the How the Grinch Stole Christmas, which I do already have on Blu-ray here, so I don't need that. So once I get this 18 movie Blu-ray set, I'll have the 4K of these three, I'll have the Grinch, and I'll have this Blu-ray set, and I'll have all the Christmas specials I need. So I can't wait for, I actually am probably going to go to a Best Buy tomorrow and pick this up, because for a long time, I've been thinking about doing a goofy, ridiculous video that no one will probably care about, but I would love to rank all of the Rankin and Bass Christmas specials, not just for the pun possibilities, but just because I think it would be fun to watch all of these. It might be kind of tough, though. I would have to devote most of my December to watching all of these Christmas specials, and it would probably get pretty tedious after a while, but I think it would be fun just to get a video out of it. So I do want to pick this Blu-ray up. It should be in stores tomorrow. I'm sure Best Buy will have it if they're still selling. I guess that's not supposed to happen until next year. So Best Buy should have it. So I'm gonna go to Best Buy tomorrow and check it out. There's the overview. Let's see which ones are included. So here's the back. Yeah, here they all are. This is all the ones I just mentioned. Cricket on the Hearth as well. Little Drummer Boy. Let me actually show the screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So this is the complete Rankin and Bass Christmas collection, and we've got a good set. Wow, a lot of bonus features with commentaries, and then we've got 1080p versions of all of these, which are most of the ones I just mentioned, and a few more, including The First Christmas, Little Drummer Boy, and Cricket on the Hearth. So this is cool. This is actually really cool. I'm looking forward to checking this out. Let's go ahead and check out the front again, since I wasn't sharing screen. There it is. Nice slipcover. Looks pretty good. I can't wait to check that out and watch some of those with the kids this year. That's really cool. That was a pleasant surprise. I was not expecting those to get a Blu-ray release. So that's pretty sweet. Next up, we already talked about Blue Beetle. This is Day of the Panther. This is coming from Umbrella Entertainment, which I believe is from Australia. It's a boutique label from Australia that also includes slipcovers in their original pressing. I have not bought anything from Umbrella Entertainment, but I do really want... Is it Umbrella Entertainment that has the nice Odd Couple Blu-ray release? Because I really want the Odd Couple on Blu-ray, and I want to get the boutique version. So I've been trying to get that, but that goes for like $35, $40. I think it's like $40 on eBay secondhand, which is kind of unfortunate, but I'll have to drop it eventually. This one is actually $40, like brand new, so maybe it's not a crazy deal. We'll pop through the images on here. I don't know anything about Day of the Panther and Strike of the Panther, but it's apparently a series, at least 2 films. It looks like it's an action series with a kind of martial arts lead. And wow. Got some creepy villain masks and some fight scenes and some action scenes, some cars, everything you can want. What more could you want? Look at that cover. Very cool slipcover on this. Got a guy in a pig mask. What more could you want? I have not seen the Panther films, but those look like a lot of fun. And they're both coming out from Umbrella Entertainment tomorrow, October 31st. Here is a documentary. We talked about a documentary about RoboCop a few weeks back, and now we're talking about a Sega documentary. This is from ETR Media. It also has a slipcover and original pressing. I like that that's becoming more of a trend. Hope we can keep that going, because I love a good slipcover. And here we go. Here's the poster. Sega, The Complete History, Volume 1. So I don't know if this is an independent documentary that was put together or how big of a budget this has, but it's getting put out by ETR Entertainment. And it's got a pretty cool poster. I don't know anything else about it. It's pretty long. It's like a mini series kind of. It's 340 minutes, which is very cool. So you get a lot of bang for your buck. And it's available now for $29.99 on Amazon. Sega, Slopes Game Room, Sega The Complete History. It's got a Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning length title, but that looks pretty fun. I have a friend of mine who's a huge retro gamer and loves Sega. I wonder if he's heard of that. All right, let's pop over and see what people are saying here before I go on a little bit further. For those of you who just joined, I am not recovering from an off the wagon binge. I actually am in my Halloween costume because of a video I shot right before this. Let's see. Happy Halloween, DJ. Thanks, John Henry. John Henry popping in as always. Good to see you. Good to see you. Love the support. He says there's always tomorrow where dreams come true. Yes. Wow. That's from Rudolph, right? That's from Rudolph. I was always a more of a Santa Claus Coming to Town fan, but I will concede that I think Rudolph is probably better. But I like the weird fantasy element of Santa Claus Coming to Town. Bailey Walsh. Oh, I love the Rankin and Bass movies. I still watch my childhood DVDs during the holidays, right? They're great, and I'm so happy we're getting a Blu-ray release of those. Let's see. And now, this. I do want to... It sounds... Your name is throwing me because it sounds like I'm starting a sentence, then I have to start over. I do want to get the Xmas special set that you have, but now after seeing them releasing the Blu-ray set, I wonder if the set will come to 4K next year. I don't know. I mean, there's always a chance, but I would be willing to bet that Blu-ray is probably the best they're going to do with... I don't think they'll go through the effort of restoring all 18 of them because they're not as beloved. These ones definitely got a restoration because these are the big ones that everybody knows about. I would be surprised if all 18 got a 4K release. Maybe. Don't quote me on that, but I think the Blu-ray is the best we're gonna get. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and buy it. But who knows? Maybe you're right, and I will be eating my hat later. John Henry says Boris Karloff's best role, Frankenstein's monster or Grinch. Well, he's not the Grinch. He's just is he the Grinch too? I know he narrates that, but does he? I don't know if the Grinch has a voice in that. Maybe he does. I've only seen that a couple times. I did not grow up with the Grinch cartoon, but he's great. He narrates it great. But I mean, Frankenstein's monster is his most iconic role. Although I watched him in quite a few pre-code horror films this month that I just talked about with Grace. That video will be out shortly. We talked about all 13 pre-code horror films in the Criterion Channel collection, and Boris Karloff is in at least 3 of them. 2 of them, he's starring alongside Bela Lugosi, which is crazy. 2 Edgar Allan Poe adaptations toward the end of the list, and their performances are awesome in that. Let's see. Nice cover. I don't know which one he's talking about, but they've been some pretty good covers this evening, especially the Vinegar. Obviously, the boutique labels always have good covers, even though I don't know what the films are about. Let's see. John Henry also says, interesting cover. I never saw a skull associated with Sega. Yeah, I think that might be more related to the company that's putting out the documentary. I'm not sure. Slopes Game Room. That might be what that is. Maybe that's just marketing for people who know what that is. And thank you so much. Love your collection, bro. Thanks. Thank you. It is not growing much at the moment, but hopefully we can get back to adding to it in the near future. And we can pick up some things on the Criterion sale next month. November Barnes & Noble sale is right around the corner. We're just 2 days away. I'm anxious. I hope I can find some. All right, let's go ahead and jump back to the movies here. We've got a lot to get through. Another Vinegar Syndrome release, Amber Aroused, and Slip into Silk. This is 2 movies from 1985. These are all rated X if you don't know what Vinegar Syndrome is. So, I'm just going to list those off because I can't bring any commentary because I don't know anything about them, but just letting you know that there's a lot of those coming out. We've got another Universal's Essentials collection. We talked about a few of these a couple weeks ago. I think one of them, those were like sci-fi films, like B sci-fi films. This is a mainstream film. This is obviously Steven Spielberg film. This is Schindler's List, which is getting the same awesome treatment that the Essentials collection has been doing. I'm just realizing that my screen is not over here. and you can see my notes for the last video behind me. But here we go. This is Schindler's List. This is the slipcase that it comes in. And then you've got reversible sleeve artwork on the inside. It comes with a film cell replica. It comes with 3 discs, a 4K and a Blu-ray, plus a bonus disc. You got a certificate of authenticity. You've got a collectible booklet, and it comes with on-set photos. Very, very cool releases. I love what Universal is doing with these. They've got basically their own boutique label that they're doing, and I can't wait to pick up some of these. I don't have any of them yet, but I will be picking up some of them shortly, and I can do a review for you guys so you can see what the quality is like, because they look good from the pictures, and I'm excited to check some of those out. And I don't own Schindler's List, so that might be a good way to pick it up. Get a nice 4K reveal of it. But here we go. Let's get to Kino Lorber. We haven't talked about Kino Lorber yet this evening. They're always putting out good stuff. Pretty much every week, I think they've come up. This is a special edition from Kino Lorber for the 1985 rated R film American Ninja. Here it is. Look at that. If I don't know if there's ever been a poster that was more descriptive of the title of the film. You got big old American flag and a ninja. 2 ninjas, I'm assuming. Unless he's not a ninja and he's just training with ninjas. Is he like a military guy and then he like trains with ninjas? Is that what's going on? That seems to be. Let's see here. The deadliest art of the Orient is now in the hands of an American. Wow, so we got like a Tom Cruise samurai situation here, except we got a military guy. Wow, that looks like a lot of fun. I don't know anything about that, but it's like an 80s action movie. He looks like a good 80s action movie star. I don't know anything about him. Is that Michael Dudikoff? I'm so behind on action movies. That is not my wheelhouse. So don't take my word for it. But that's coming out from Kino Lorber and it's on sale right now on Amazon for $18. So if you've been long awaiting the American Ninja franchise, don't waste any time. Go to Amazon and buy it. We've also got American Ninja 2, The Confrontation. It's a very strange title. The Confrontation also coming out from Kino Lorber on Blu-ray and DVD combo pack, and also coming out with a nice slipcover for the first printing. Look at that. That looks awesome. Got red ninjas in the background, black ninjas. This is, same franchise, same star. There you go. 80s ninja movie goodness coming from Kino Lorber. I love the range of Kino Lorber. You've got, like, all-time classics. You've got fun action movies. They put out everything. I think they're, like, the most complete boutique label, I would say. Like, they're not afraid of putting out anything. Next up is a film from 1997 that's getting a Warner Archive release, which is pretty cool. Looks like they have a new logo. That is a different Warner Archive collection logo than they've been putting out lately. This is a Dustin Hoffman, John Travolta film called Mad City. One man will make a mistake. The other will make it a spectacle. Oh, so they're kind of like, are they like, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what this movie's about. I immediately thought they were kind of antagonistic towards each other, but maybe not. But yeah, that's from 1997, and it's so wow. I didn't know Warner Archive put out things that recent. 1997 is very recent for them, but that's cool. That's another great label that I like a lot. They don't do a lot of fancy. There's no frills with Warner Archive. You just get a bare bones release, but they are putting out movies that don't really get a release otherwise. So I'm very thankful for that label as well. Let's do one more here. The Hard Part Begins. This is a Blu-ray release from Canadian International Pictures, and this is another slipcover in original printing. You can see the slipcover art here. The Hard Part Begins, a film by Paul Lynch. No relation to David Lynch, I don't believe, but that's a pretty cool artwork. I like the style there. Is this a music film? Is it about a musician? Jim King is a struggling country singer whose life is falling apart. His partner left him to pursue a solo career. His son is out of control, and his ex-wife hates his guts and can't wait to see him fail. Life on the road is no fairy tale. Okay. So kind of a shattering disillusionment drama film from 1973. A nice little maybe grungy 70s vibe to a musical drama adaptation. That's pretty cool. I've never heard of that film, but that sounds interesting. I've also never heard of that label, Canadian International Pictures. So another label I'm going to have to do some research on and look into. All right. Whew. A lot of talking this evening. A lot of stuff coming out. Let me know in the chat what you guys are thinking. And I will continue to talk to you guys here in the chat. Let me see. Boris Karloff, yeah, votes blah, 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 blah. Let me get back where I was. This is why I need a chat moderator. That would be very helpful. Kevin House. Anybody wanting to learn more about Rankin and Bass should check out the books of my friend Rick Goldschmidt, the official Rankin and Bass historian. That is awesome, dude. I didn't know that. I find the production of those films fascinating, and I love all of the stuff they did. They're also responsible for some of the Lord of the Rings films, right? They did The Hobbit, and I think they also did Return of the King. I can't remember. There's 3 films. There's The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, and Return of the King, the animated ones from the 80s, but I can't remember which. There's only 2 of them are Rankin and Bass, I believe, and I can't remember which ones, but obviously I'm interested in those because I love Tolkien. So yeah, I'd love to learn more about that. Let me know what the books are called. Did you say? Check out the books of my friend. I'll just have to look up the author, I guess. Hopefully they're available on Amazon. And thanks for that, Kevin. That's really interesting. Ethan Edwards, has the wife had any luck in her job search? Yes. So for those of you who don't know, last week I was talking about some personal stuff, and the reason we haven't been able to pick up any new movies recently is because my wife was laid off. Their company was hitting some really hard times, and a lot of people were laid off. So she was on the hunt for a new job. It's been about a month, so we're making it off one income right now. But yes, actually, she has had some really good. She's been working her butt off in a lot of interviews and meeting with a lot of people, and she had a really good one last week. And they kind of did the digital interviews, and then they did the in-person interviews, and she kind of nailed it. And they love her, and they really want to hire her. So hopefully we're going to hear back from them sometime this week with a job offer. So good things coming. Hopefully we'll be able to do some Criterion stuff next month because we should be back to normal soon. So thankful for that. Gus is here. Hey, Gus. My man, Gus. Always happy to see you. You can just say ANT if my name throws you off. LOL. I'm excited for American Ninja. Loved watching the series of movies as a kid. Okay, that's good to hear. That's good to hear that those are great because I did not grow up with those films. I grew up with every martial arts movie under the sun that was available, that was acceptable for kids to watch because my parents are both martial artists. They've owned a martial arts studio ever since before I was born. That's what they do. They own a business, and they would show us everything. So I grew up on whatever, Ninja Turtles, the Three Ninjas movies, Seven Lucky Ninja Kids, which is an amazing Japanese movie that for some reason was ported over to America and added subtitles to and was sold on VHS, even though it's not really a kids movie. It's kind of inappropriate. I don't think I should have. I saw it earlier than I should have, but it was marketed to kids because of the whole martial arts wave in the 90s because of the Three Ninjas movies and Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers, all that stuff. I was watching all that stuff as a kid. I loved anything with martial arts, mostly stuff with kids beating up adults, like Three Ninjas, like Surf Ninjas. Anybody remember Surf Ninjas? But no, I did not see American Ninja. I'm assuming those are like very violent and R-rated 80s action movies. That's why my parents didn't show me those. But I'd be interested to check them out. Let me know. You're saying they're great, so hopefully, let me know a little bit more about them because I'd love to be sold on those because I'd love to pick those up. Let's see. DJ, have you seen Schindler's List? Oh, he's outing me. He's outing me right here. No, I have not seen Schindler's List. Not yet. There's a lot of, well, I've seen a good bit of Steven Spielberg's filmography, but I haven't seen that one yet. That one has eluded me some way or another. And looks like we're all caught up. So let's stop yapping and let's get back to the new releases here. What do we got? We've got, okay, so this one was in the thumbnail. This is, I'm sure some people will be excited for this. I'm probably not going to pick this up, but this is the Jurassic World Ultimate Collection on 4K Blu-ray. We got Best Buy. This is a Best Buy exclusive Steelbook. This is one of those deluxe Steelbook box sets, which always look incredible. But I don't even have a price on this one. I don't know how much it's going to cost. It's limited to 5,325 copies, which is an oddly specific number. But like I said, it's a Best Buy exclusive. It includes 4K HD, Blu-ray, digital 4K. So Blu-ray plus digital 4K. So 3 formats. This is the artwork, which is massive. It's got 6 separate Steelbooks in this Steelbook box set. You've got Jurassic Park, The Lost World Jurassic Park, Jurassic Park 3, and then you've got the new trilogy as well, the Jurassic World trilogy. I've still not seen the third one. I was not a big fan of the second one, so I don't know if I'll ever get around to watching that one. But if you do like these films, this is about as definitive as a set as you can get. Looks really good. I've seen these SteelBook box sets before. I think they're pretty easily damaged. I remember the Kong Godzilla box set. A lot of people are posting online that it arrived like dented and smashed, which was very soul crushing to hear because I'm sure this is going to be very expensive. But it looks nice. It'll look really good on the shelf. It comes with a certificate of authenticity. I have no problems with Universal for their packaging or their releases. I think they're doing a really good job with that. Don't always love the films, but this is 6 movies and 7 cuts. So I don't know which one of the movies has an alternate cut. It doesn't say here, but that's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool release. If you love those films and you love SteelBooks, I'm sure you'll be excited about that. That is the Jurassic World Ultimate Collection. Then we've got a nice Warner Archive Collection release here, starring Joan Crawford. This is a film from 1931, and it is called it's called Dance Fools Dance, starring Joan Crawford. This is a Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer picture. I have not heard of this one, but it looks like it's from my era. Look out, Jake Lova. The sinuous mole cuddling up to you on the dance floor isn't the floozy she seems. She's Bonnie Jordan, ex-society girl and current undercover reporter investigating a murder that has your fingerprints all over it. She has what it takes, all right, to take you and your crime empire down. Wow. Interesting. So kind of a little bit of a romance, a little bit of a crime, a little bit of everything. Sounds very interesting. I love when you get those snappy 30s female reporters that lead their own films. Kind of a, what's that movie called? His Girl Friday. Amazing movie. And also, one of the films we just watched this month in the horror collection is called Mysteries of the Wax Museum. And it also has a very snappy female reporter that's the main character of that. And she's great. And I don't know if I've seen a lot of things with Joan Crawford in it. I'd have to look at a list. I'm sure I have, but I haven't heard of this one. So that's really cool. I'm always down for a Warner Archives collection release because they put out good stuff. Next up, we've got Nanny from Criterion. This was announced a few months back. I remember hearing about this. This is the last October release that Criterion will be putting out this month. Here we go. Nanny 2022, the Criterion Collection, a film by Nikatu Jusu. And this is a kind of a pseudo horror film from everything I've heard. Very brief watch, 99 minutes, very new release. Like I said, just came out last year. I know a lot of people are excited about that one. That was one that like hit all of the awards circuits, and a lot of people didn't get a chance to see it. So I know people are looking forward to that release. And then we've got complete opposite direction. We're going to 1969, and we're going to the country of Japan for, of all things, a Puss and Boots adaptation. This is called The Wonderful World of Puss and Boots. And it is a Japanese kind of anime style adaptation of those fairy tales, which is really interesting to me. I would like to hear, I wonder what the quality is like on this. This is from another media outlet that I'm not familiar with, Discotheque Media. And it also has a slipcover in the original pressing coming out tomorrow, October 31st. So many things coming out. But yeah, it's listed as an anime and an international film. Obviously, comedy and adventure as well. Probably appropriate for kids. So my interest is piqued. I would like to learn more about that one. Let me know if anyone knows anything about that one, because that is definitely the kind of quirkiest thing we've talked about so far. Let's knock out these last two on this row, and then we'll go back to some chat because there's a lot of people talking over there. Michael Finley's Flesh trilogy is getting a release from DistribPix, and this looks to be another like unrated kind of adult film. It says adults only right there on the front, and I don't know what this DistribPix is. I don't know what this label is, but this is 3 movies, not rated, from 1967 to 1968. It has kind of a cool comic booky artwork there. That's about as big as it gets, so it's not very high res. But yeah, if you're looking for any Michael Finley's films, they're coming out from Distrib Pix. So many labels we're talking about this week, and so many new ones that I'm not familiar with. But that's why I do this. It's a learning opportunity for all of us. And then we've got Fugue coming out on Blu-ray. This is a 2018 film, slipcover in original pressing, and it is from Decanologue. Coming out from Decanologue. There's the front. Very cool. Actually has kind of a After Hours vibe with the pink and the green. It's very similar to that artwork. I wonder who the artist is on this, because I've been following the After Hours artist, and she actually does a lot of stuff. She's done some stuff for Arrow Academy, so that might be, I don't know, it doesn't really look like her style, but it looks like it might be aping that a little bit. But yeah, there's another film from 2018, a newer horror film, which looks pretty interesting. I like the cover on that. All right, what are people talking about over here? Let me catch up. We've got... Let's see. Have you considered becoming a crime-fighting ninja? No, I have not. I'm going to stick with movie YouTuber because it seems a little bit more safe. All right, let's go on to the next one. Code Anime Fan, Jurassic World Dominion was the best Jurassic Park film since the original, in my opinion. Okay, I have not seen that one, but that's high praise. Wow. Internet user, are you ready for Noirvember? No, I don't have any plans yet, but I should start putting together my Noirvember list because that's something I would like to do this year. We have a lot of noir films that were just added to the collection, and my wife and I always have a good time watching through those. We also have the Noir Bar book from TCM, so we can do some noir-themed drinks while we watch the films. So that might be fun. I think we're going to try to do that. I don't think it's going to be as many films as we watched in Spooktober, because that was 20 films, and that was a lot of films. But yeah, we may try to do a little themed month for Noirvember. That'll be fun. Thomas Lowe, wow, DJ, you're 40 years old. Oh yeah, no, I'm not 40 years old. But the costume, I see what you're saying. It's not actually, but in the movie it's paper mache. This is actually flour, as you can see. God. Ugh. All in my water cup. Slipmaker just checking in. Happy Halloween, fellas. Thanks for popping in. I love it when you guys pop in. We've had a pretty good crowd this evening, so thank you guys so much for joining me. I know it's the day before a holiday, so probably not as big of a crowd as we usually have, but I enjoy you guys, and I enjoy the ones that I'm thankful for the ones that are here, and we'll continue to make our way through this list and have a good time. Let me see. Michael Smith. DJ, do you know much about Jean Arthur, my favorite actress in a lot of 30s and 40s films? Talk of the Town is great. No, I don't think I do. At least by name. I'll have to look into. I'll check Letterboxd and see what film she's been in, because I like I say, I love 30s films, and I would love to check out more of her films. And now this, more about American Ninja. To me, the American Ninja movie series violence are tame. Today's violence in movies are way more intense and detailed. If you like 80s/90s low-budget movies, then those movies are for you. All right, man, that'll be interesting to see, because most of the movies I saw in the 90s were kids' movies because I was a kid, but it'll be interesting to see what adult movies were doing in that period, especially adult ninja movies. So thanks for the recommend. I'll have to check those out. Code Anime Fan, my guess is that they're releasing the Puss and Boots film to Blu-ray to cash off of Puss and Boots' recent popularity. Maybe so. Maybe we're getting that anime adaptation because obviously Puss and Boots: The Last Wish was incredible and did really, really well at the box office. So yeah, I mean, I'm interested. I love any kind of fairy tale adaptation that comes out. Speaking of nannies, I recommend Hammer's The Nanny from 1965, starring Bette Davis in a small, creepy performance. Interesting. Bette Davis, we've recently watched some Bette Davis films, my wife and I, and she's incredible. So, I mean, I'm down to watch a creepy performance by Bette Davis. That's interesting. Color me interested. Jay Hutch Talks Too Much is here. Hey, welcome. My first guess as to who you were dressed as was a character from another Scorsese movie, the dude who is frozen in the meat locker. Oh man, see, I'm so behind on my Scorsese films, but I really, really liked After Hours. And I like months ago when I was watching this film for the first time, I was like, man, that would be a good Halloween costume. But I never thought I would do it. But it was fun. It was really easy to put together. And I don't know what I'm going to have to take another shower after this before I go to bed because I'm leaking flour all over the place. But I had a good time. Ethan Edwards says, flour, sure. Hey, man, I'm broke. All I can afford is flour. So you know I'm telling the truth. J. Hutch talks too much. Love Jean Arthur, also one of my favorites. She's especially great in Capra's movies. Well, that's all you had to say, man, because I have not seen a Frank Capra film that I did not love. I think my favorite film of all time is It's a Wonderful Life, which he did. He's also done, what else did they do? The Halloween film, which we watch every year on Halloween. We'll probably try to do tomorrow, Arsenic and Old Lace. Actually, no, we're not doing that tomorrow. We're actually having some friends over tomorrow after we trick-or-treat with the kids, and we're going to watch House, Japanese film Houseu. They've never seen it. I can't wait to see their reaction to it, because that's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah. Watching House this year. Maybe we'll watch Arsenic and Old Lace sometime this week. I don't know if I'll have time, which is a bummer because we usually like to watch that every year. All right, let's get back here. We've got a few more. Wow, I've got a lot more. I'm going to have to start speeding through these. We've got more releases from Vinegar Syndrome. We've also got another Warner Archive. Warner Archive is killing it this week. They're putting out an Elvis film called Double Trouble, which looks like an Elvis film where he plays twins. I've never seen an Elvis film, but if anything came out of watching the Elvis film from last year, it got me more interested in his film career because I had never seen any of them. My dad was a huge Elvis fan. He liked his movies, but for whatever reason, I was an annoying kid and didn't want to be interested in anything that my dad was interested in. So I haven't seen any Elvis movies. I would like for you guys in the comments to let me know which are the actual like good Elvis movies that I should watch. Like what are his best ones? Because I'd like to see some, but I know he did so many and a lot of them weren't that great. So I want to check out some of the good ones. I think he did a Michael Curtiz film that I would really like to check out. And I don't know where this one stacks up on the list, but this is Double Trouble starring two Elvises. What's better than Elvis? Two Elvises. 1967, obviously a musical film. Let me know what you guys think of that one. Let me know if that one's worth checking out. Next up, we've got Witnesses from Arrow. This is a 1985 release. Limited edition from Arrow. A Harrison Ford movie and Witness. Sorry, excuse me. It's just Witness, not Witnesses. Get it right, DJ. We'll look at the overview. This has a lovely, like beautiful, one of those hardcover slipcase releases from Arrow. I love those. Those are dangerous because they almost make me want to pick up movies that I haven't even seen just based on the packaging alone. Haven't done that yet, but we'll see. This is from Arrow Video. It's got a slipcase. It's got a booklet. They always include a nice poster. The artwork is always reversible, so you can use their artwork or the original poster artwork. And then they always include some art cards, which I said before, I'm not the biggest fan of. These ones are at least photos instead of just like the posters again. So that's kind of cool. Witness coming out from Arrow Video also tomorrow. So many things coming out tomorrow from every label. They're getting in right at the end of the month. Apparently there is another Justice League animated movie coming out from DC and Warner Brothers on 4K and Ultra HD digital. It's called Justice League versus RWBY: Superheroes and Huntsmen Part 2. Wow, that's a mouthful. I have no idea what this is. It looks like anime inspired art style. It's got the most egregiously long name. No idea what the quality's like on that, but hopefully the people that are into those movies are excited about that. Next up, we've got another Kino Lorber release. Kino Lorber putting out a lot of similarly themed films this week. This is called The Challenge, which is another ninja-looking film, which comes with an original slipcover. It has... Oh, that's cool. See, that's cool. When they show the slipcover art and they show the artwork for the reversible artwork and the main artwork for the case underneath, he has trained every thought, every muscle, every nerve for this moment of truth. The Challenge, starring John Frankenheimer, or directed by John Frankenheimer, starring Scott Glenn and Toshiro Mifune. Wow, okay, so another ninja-looking movie. I'm assuming another 80s action movie. Yes, 1982. Another R-rated ninja action movie. So Kino Lorber has a theme this month, and it's not spooky, it is ninja, which is perfect for October for me because like I said, my parents are martial artists, so I went as a ninja, I think, for like the first 7 Halloweens, I was just wearing a ninja costume because I could get a real ninja suit from like their martial arts catalog that they could order from because they have a studio. So I wasn't wearing like the ones that you get at the store. I was wearing like an authentic, like real ninja suit, and it was very fun. And I did that for so many years. I think every year I went trick or treating, I was just a ninja because I wasn't into like horror like movies and stuff. So that was what you could find me doing on Halloween night for the first 7 years of my life. Next up, we've got Out of Time, the material issue story from Factory 25, slipcover and original pressing. This is another music film. Is this a documentary? This might be a documentary. I'm not familiar with Factory 25, which is the theme this week because there's so many new labels coming out with stuff. But Factory 25 has got some pretty cool artwork. Out of Time is a feature documentary about Chicago trio, material issue, and their legacy. Okay, so a music documentary. A lot of people enjoying those, and it's pretty short. 67 minutes, came out in 2021, so brand new. Continuing with the ninja theme from Kino Lorber this week, we've got a special edition of Enter the Ninja from 1981. It's all 80s movies and it's all ninja movies, all month long from Kino. Look at this cover. Look at this. This is awesome. Enter the Ninja, starring all those people. Hired assassins, human killing machines. Sweet. So these seem to be like ninjas that are actually ninjas, that are actually like sneaky, because ninjas are supposed to be like not, I mean, I don't know. Most of the time in movies, we just get martial arts guys and then they just call them ninjas because what they're wearing, but they're supposed to be like, they were used to break into places and sneakily, you know, they're supposed to be assassins. They weren't supposed to be like in armies. You weren't supposed to have like armies of ninjas just like mobbing people. So that looks cool. Another 80s ninja movie that I have not seen. That would be fun to watch. That would be a fun, well, that's too many to watch in one night. That's not a double feature. That's a quadruple feature. But Kino Lorber is keeping them coming. I don't know if there's going to be any more, but we've already got 4 ninja movies from them. Next up, Limbo 4K, which is a 2020 film coming out from Cape Light Pictures. 2021, this film just came out, brand new. Limbo. Not heard of this. It's a German film, it looks like. It's got German subtitles and a German language track. Let me know about Limbo because the cover is very intriguing. Is this like I'm gonna have to read the synopsis on this because this looks interesting to me. Rookie policeman Will Wren and his partner, the veteran cop Cham Lao, are pursuing an obsessive and especially brutal murderer of women. Okay, so, you know, maybe not exactly what I was expecting from that cover, but it looks interesting. It looks like visually very interesting, and it's a crime film, a murder mystery from Germany. From German. I'm talking too fast. Should I hop over? Yeah, people are talking. Let me take another quick break. See how many we got here. This is a big evening. Yes, I'm going to do this one more row. Do one more row, and then I'll hop over to you guys. We've got Animal House 4K, another Universal Essentials collection. So they come in twos. We've seen that they're coming in twos. So we've got Schindler's List, and also National Lampoon's Animal House. 45th anniversary. It's getting a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray Digital HD combo pack. I don't have a picture of the entire collection with the art cards and everything for this one. Oh, here it is. So we've got the slipcase, got the 4K case, we've got the booklet, and you've got art cards and your certificate, and only 2 discs on this one. 30-page college yearbook with rare photos, behind the scenes, images, and more. A film cell replica, and a reversible sleeve with original poster art. So they're really taking a page out of Arrow's book with all of the extras. They're very similar. The only thing you don't get is a poster, which they've replaced with a certificate of authenticity, which is kind of cool. Like I said, very high on the Universal Essentials collection. I have not seen Animal House, but I know that's a big cult classic for a lot of people. I don't usually like those kind of comedies, but I've heard good things about this one. I think that's one of the better ones. Maybe I'll get a chance to check that one out. I don't want to start collecting a new label. I'm not usually a completionist, but those Universal Essentials collection slipcases look really good. So who knows? Anything's possible. We also have, in addition to the Essentials collection of Schindler's List, we've also got a Best Buy exclusive Steelbook coming out with the 4K of Schindler's List. Here it is. I'll just show you what the artwork looks like on that, because we've already talked about the film. You've got the red coat. You've got the kind of just I think that's original artwork on the front there. And then a really cool collage of photos on the inside, which I'm assuming is a still from the film. 3-disc set, same discs. You've got a 4K, Ultra HD, Blu-ray, and a digital HD. And I think there's a bonus disc. That's why there's 3 discs. And this is also the 30th anniversary of that film. So a lot of anniversaries coming out for Universal. They're dropping some really cool stuff. Jumping ahead to, what is this? Retribution, a 2023 Liam Neeson film. The 75th Liam Neeson action film that he's released in the last decade. This is 2023's Retribution. A very similar photo where he's in a car, and in the reflection of the window, you can see an explosion. So you know what you're getting at this point. He's done so many of these movies. I've not even heard of this one. Like, what was the last one I heard of that he did? The Commuter? Is that what that was called? Obviously started with the Taken films, but that's an action crime drama thriller, which Liam Neeson has just become synonymous with at this point. Put out by Lionsgate Films. And for some reason, it looks like it's in a DVD case, even though it's a Blu-ray. That's weird. That must be a Walmart release. And we've got a few more here coming out. We've got the Big Fat Greek Wedding trilogy. If you haven't seen my Big Fat Greek Wedding, the first one is surprisingly charming, and it's one of my wife's favorite movies. And I was not expecting to like it at all, but I watched it with her, and it's charming. It's really fun. And then the second one is, not as good. And then I haven't even seen the third one. I think it was in and out of theaters very, very quickly. I don't think it was very well received. But if you like that series, they're putting out a trilogy of all 3 of them. And I don't know if it has a slipcover or anything. It looks like it's just a single disc Blu-ray, which makes sense for that. Got to keep it kind of low budget because it is a more niche series. But I'm glad they're putting it out for people that are fans of those. I don't know if the original is getting a release or not. They also have another version that is just the Blu-ray and digital, which has slightly less interesting artwork. That is just the 3 posters kind of smashed into one. But yeah, 2 different versions of that. I'm not sure why there's 2 different versions. I guess. Oh, excuse me. No, there's not. This is just the 3rd movie. My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3 is getting a Blu-ray release, collector's edition, which is Blu-ray and HD digital. And then you've got the 3-pack, which is all 3 of them. So you can get it either way. If you already have the first 2, pick up the 3rd one. If you don't have any of them, you can get all 3 of them for only $35 on Amazon right now. So that's a steal. Almost $10 a movie. Let's hop back over here and see what people are saying, because I have been talking for a long time. So let's talk some more. All right. Where were we? Ethan Edwards, Only Angels Have Wings is a great place to start with Jean Arthur. Well, I've seen Only Angels Have Wings, so I have seen a Jean Arthur film, and I liked it quite a bit. Also got Cary Grant in that one, I do believe. I got the Criterion set, and we watched that, and that's a really cool film. Slipmaker, I think Halloween has the most energy when it comes to my interests. Theme parks do haunted houses, YouTube channels do videos, studios release goofy horror movies. I may not get work off, but hey, that's true. We don't get days off for Halloween in America. I don't know if anybody does, but yeah, Halloween's great. I grew up in a family that didn't really celebrate Halloween, so it's great to finally catch up on all the Spooktober festivities now in my adult life. Yes, also Only Angels, one of my favorite Hawks movies. Yes, so good. So I've at least seen one of her films, and she's great in that. I like both of the leads in that film. Can't go wrong with Cary Grant. Michael Smith, Jean Arthur films include Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, You Can't Take It With You, Mr. Deeds Goes to Town, Shane, and The More the Merrier. I have been trying to watch Mr. Smith Goes to Washington for like 3 years, and every year because I want to watch it on 4th of July. Not that you have to watch it on 4th of July, but I think it's a good time to watch it, I've heard. And I was going to watch it this year, but at the last minute, my friend Connor inspired me to watch Nashville because he said it was the most American film ever made. So I did a 180 and I watched Robert Altman's Nashville this year. But next year, I'm 100% watching Mr. Smith Goes to Washington finally, because that's a Frank Capra film as well, I believe. And like I said, can't go wrong with Capra. Kevin says he just rewatched Arsenic and Old Lace last night. Priscilla Lane is so darn cute. Everything about that movie is wonderful. I like I said, we watch it every year and we love it every year. Hopefully we can watch it again this year because it's great. I actually just lent it to John because he had never seen it, and just got that back from him yesterday and gave him his movies from the from the autumn top 10 fall movies video that we did because I still had those. So we did a little exchange. I got to talk to him for a little bit. Hopefully I can have him over soon and we can maybe shoot another video with him because I always like talking to John. Let me see. Oh, people are dropping some Elvis movies in here because I asked for that. So Pop Culture 33 says Wild Country for Elvis. Jailhouse Rock is also great. Okay, cool. Those two. And then John Malahahi, I like to make fun of his last name. Sorry, John. Viva Las Vegas is another Elvis favorite of his. So there's another one. Kevin also seconds that. I would start with Viva Las Vegas with Elvis and Anne Margaret, but he made a few other good ones too. All right. Let me see. John says Blue Hawaii isn't bad either. People popping in and talking about some of the releases we've talked about. Ethan says Witness is great. That's the, what's his name? Harrison Ford film that we just talked about. And Internet User also seconds that. He says he watched Witness earlier this month and really liked it. A bit slow at parts, but overall I recommend it. Henry Bidenkamp is here. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. The best Elvis films are Love Me Tender, Jailhouse Rock, and King Creole. That's the one I was thinking of, King Creole. That's the one that is towards the top of my list. So maybe I'll check out King Creole and Jailhouse Rock. And a lot of people saying that Viva Las Vegas is good too. I got to finally get around to those. Maybe I'll invite my dad over and watch some with him because I know he loves those. And now this also seconding King Creole and Love Me Tender. He also likes GI Blues, Blue Hawaii, and Jailhouse Rock. So maybe he's got a lot better films than I have heard. I've heard some of them aren't great, but it seems like he's done a lot of great ones. Let's see. Ethan Edwards, Jaws is also a 4th of July film. Yes, that's true. That is literally on 4th of July, so that's probably the best example. But I have seen that, so I like to try to watch a new one every year that I haven't seen. Let's pop back over and finish up these releases, and then I can talk to you guys a little bit more. We've got Squaring the Circle, which is, wow, the story of hypnosis. This is from Utopia Distribution, another slipcover and original pressing. Very new label, looks like. They don't have that many films out. What is this? I know nothing about this. In 1968, art students Storm Borgerson and Aubrey Poe Powell made a trippy photo collage for their musician friends Sid, David, and Roger. The resulting album cover, a saucer full of secrets, helped launch two careers, that of Pink Floyd and one of the 70s megabands, and of Hypnosis, which over the course of the next 25 years designed a stream of iconic album covers. So another music documentary film from Utopia Distribution. I wonder if that's a label that specializes in music films, because I'm not super familiar with it. But lots of musical documentaries coming out this month. We've got Sirens from 2022 coming out from Oscilloscope Pictures. This is a 2022 film. 79 minutes, and it is another musical film. Jeez, is this like a thing? Do a lot of musical films come out in October? Or is this just a coincidence? But there's another boutique label that is putting out another musical film. I've seen this label. I've seen a few releases from this label at Half Price Books, but I didn't pick them up. So that's another very obscure label that I don't hear about a lot. So that's really cool. And we've got... I'm not going to pass up a Christmas movie here. We've got Stealing Christmas from Universal Studios, a 2003 Christmas film. Looks like a very low budget Christmas film. Ooh. Starring Tony Danza, Leah Thompson, and Betty White. Wow, looks like a heist movie. Why is it's like a Santa heist movie from 2003? How have I never heard of this? Wow. Christmas movie that I've never even heard of. I have to check that one out. We'll see. Let me know about Stealing Christmas, the most generic title ever, but I guess it makes sense. Then we've got 2023's King of Killers coming out on Blu-ray from Lionsgate, another action movie, and another ninja movie. Look at that. He's got two ninja swords on his back. In a game of life and death, murder is king. So there you go. We're getting into the more obscure things here at the bottom. We've got Assignment Skybolt coming out on Blu-ray from Dark Force Entertainment, which is just yet another label. So many labels to talk about this week. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh, I sure want to mention this because this is an Indicator release, and if you don't know, I meant to do a post about it today. Indicator just launched their sale. I think it's going on for the next 2 weeks. Indicator and Powerhouse Films is having a site-wide sale. Really good prices. They're all the way down to like $21 and $13. I was tempted to pick up a few things, but I haven't yet. But do it quick because I was going to pick up the Swimmer limited edition and it sold out like immediately. I should have done it quicker because I've missed out on my opportunity to get that. But Powerhouse Films and Indicator is putting out the 1963 film The Curse of the Crying Woman. There is the cover on that. They put out a ton of like, I don't know if this is specifically from Hammer, but they put out a lot of Hammer films and similar horror films that are in the same vein. This is one of those, Curse of the Crying Woman. Very cool artwork on that. And then also from Indicator this month, coming out tomorrow, is Black Pit of Doom, which looks to be another horror film with the same exact art style. So very cool that they're putting those out. That's a 1959 film, a little bit earlier. But yeah, Indicator is great. They put out quality stuff. I highly recommend ordering from that sale that's going on right now. So don't miss out on that because I don't think it's a full month. I think it's shorter. So maybe check that out. A few other re-releases that we've already talked about. 2 more Indicator releases coming out this week. We've got The Witch's Mirror, which is getting a Blu-ray release, which is another horror film with very creepy skeleton artwork there. And one last film from Indicator that's coming out this week as well, The Brainiac. Now, that looks familiar to me. Is this, you guys will have to let me know. I believe these might be individual releases of a set that already exists on Indicator. I think these are from the Mexican Macabre box set, because I remember that artwork specifically. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I think these might be individual separate releases of 4 films that are already in a box set. But they all look really cool. If you just want those films individually, there they are. And then the last thing I'll mention here is coming from another thing from, I believe it's Warner Brothers. Is this Warner Brothers or is this? No, this is 20th Century Fox. Oklahoma is getting a Platinum Edition re-release. This is the 1955 musical, obviously. I already have the release of Oklahoma, and I'm really happy with this release. It has a slipcover, and it includes multiple versions of the film, including the CinemaScope version and the Todd AO version. There's multiple versions of this film. If you haven't seen it, it was shot like in multiple different ways, which is really cool. And I love this musical. I saw it for the first time. My wife showed it to me, and we've watched it a few times since. Very good musical, and it's getting a standard re-release. I don't know what that case is going to look like. It might just be a standard jewel case, bare bones release. But if you don't have it, I highly recommend Roger and Hammerstein's Oklahoma because it's a fun musical, and it's a really beautiful looking movie. I love the cinematography of that film. So that's cool. That's getting a re-release. I don't know much about the re-release. Like I said, there's not much information here. But if you don't have it, maybe check out Oklahoma. I'm sure most of my audience already has that film, or has at least seen it. But here we go. Let's hop back and see what people are saying in the chat. Let's see. And now this also says, I've never heard of Stealing Christmas, but you sold me with Betty White and Tony Danza, right? Sounds interesting enough. Sounds pretty good. Let's see what the time is. All right, we're making good time on this one. We've only been talking for an hour. I kind of sped through those ones. Hopefully I didn't lose you guys. Hopefully you're still here watching. I haven't been engaging as much, but I am finished now, so I can go ahead and engage with you guys in the chat if you want to talk for a little bit more. If not, though, we'll wrap it up quick here for this and give you just a short episode this evening for those of you guys who are watching after the fact. Code Anime Fan says Scott Glenn was Stick in Daredevil. Oh, that's actually really cool. So Scott Glenn, I think he was in that last ninja movie that we talked about, and that's pretty cool if they were going back and picking up like 80s action movie stars for Daredevil. I'm assuming you're talking about season, like the Netflix Daredevil, which I haven't seen in a long time, but that's really cool that they got like a stunt casting back in for that. That'd be cool to see him in his younger days. Code Anime Fan says they have a lot of different releases for Blue Beetle. I can't imagine them doing well. The film made less money than the recent Paw Patrol superhero film. Yeah, it didn't seem to be that popular at the box office, but they always release, like, you're always going to get at least a Blu-ray release, at least a 4K release, and then a Steelbook. No matter how the film did, they're at least going to do those 3 for the big superhero tentpole films. So yeah, I guess it's not really a tentpole film, but it's a big superhero film. So I at least was expecting those 3 releases, but I assume that they'll be sitting on the shelf for a while. I don't know if that one's going to sell out very quickly. but hopefully, I hope it does well. I want everyone involved in that to, to get their money's worth. Kevin House, South Pacific would be better if the director hadn't used those colored lenses on certain scenes. Great score, though. Okay. What is South Pacific? Is that something that we passed that we didn't talk about? Oh, it is. Here it is. So I'll bring it up since Kevin mentioned it. South Pacific is another Samuel Goldwyn film, and it's the 65th anniversary of that film. But there it is. Wow. That is quite the poster. Is that a musical? Looks like a musical. I am always interested in a good musical. Another beach film that I'm sure John has seen. He probably watched it in preparation for his book. But there you go, South Pacific. Thanks for bringing that up, Kevin, because I did gloss right over that one. Let me see. Jay Hutch talks too much. The title should have been Who's the Santa? I mean, we can critique Christmas movie titles all week. We did it last week with the Hallmark Christmas movies, which had horrendous titles, which I found out after the fact, after I shot that video, that the one with the most absurd title was based on like a country song, and it was a sequel to the first Hallmark movie that was also based on that country song. That's why it had that weird title with a colon that made no sense. So I learned that. Learn something new every day. Code Anime Fan DJ, have you seen the He-Man and She-Ra Christmas special? It's a classic. No, I have not. I have not seen any He-Man media at all. That was past my time, or I was past its time, I guess. That was the 80s. I wasn't born until the 90s, so I didn't get into any of those big 80s cartoons. I did see some of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon because they had those VHS tapes from Burger King that I had a couple of. But yeah, I completely missed He-Man and Thundercats and all those other ones. But I didn't know they had a Christmas classic. Maybe I'll have to check it out. And now this, I gotta go, but I'm glad I caught you live. Happy Halloween to you and to the chat. Thank you so much for joining live. We're about to go here pretty soon. I'm gonna let everyone go, and we'll get back to getting ready for Halloween tomorrow. Let me know if this is a better time for you. We went live at 9 o'clock this evening instead of 8 o'clock. Trying some things out. I wanted to make it easier for people from the West Coast to join, because I know even 9 o'clock here is still pretty early over there. That's like 6 o'clock for you guys. So trying to accommodate for you, but I can only go so late. I got kids I got to wake up at 6:30 and take to school. So we're going to try 9 o'clock, see how it goes. Maybe we'll do this for a couple weeks, maybe go back to 8. Just let me know in the comments what you guys think. Ethan Edwards is still here. We'll do a couple more questions here, and then we'll go ahead and wrap things up. Ethan Edwards, best film to see Scott Glenn is The Right Stuff. He was in Nashville too. Interesting. Wow. The more I learned about Scott Glenn, that's fascinating. So he was in Nashville. Who is he in Nashville? Because I watched that recently, and I'll probably remember who he is. But I have not seen The Right Stuff. So that's interesting. I mean, he seems like he's got some range if he's in like 80s ninja movie, and that maybe he was the best actor that maybe he was their big actor that they got in that ninja movie. Maybe he doesn't really have anything to do with action movies. Maybe that was just a guest star role, but that's cool that he's in Nashville. I'll have to check out The Right Stuff. And Ethan says he's in Silence of the Lambs. Wow. Okay. Which I just watched because that was on our October list to get through. We just watched that a few days ago. Very cool to finally check that one off the list. But yeah, Scott Glenn, he was not the highlight of Silence of the Lambs for me, because I didn't know who Scott Glenn was. I should probably look him up because he's popped up several times this evening. Real quick, I'll let you know which ones I'm most excited about this week. I don't think I could pick 5. I've been picking 5 for the last few weeks, but I will have to say that obviously the big one I'm excited about is the Hitchcock set. And I will be picking that one up eventually to go with my collection. I have not seen any of the films in that set, but I am really enjoying picking up all of the Hitchcock sets, and I haven't really been disappointed with any Hitchcock film I've seen. And then I'm also very excited about the Christmas collection of all 18 Rankin and Bass films. Those will be the two. Those will be the two that I'll pick up. I actually probably will go to Best Buy tomorrow and see if I can find that Rankin and Bass one. And then eventually I'll get the Schindler's List Universal Essentials collection because that looks really cool too. So a great month. Lots of boutique stuff. You got Vinegar Syndrome. You've got Indicator. You got Kino Lorber dropping stuff. And then Criterion with their release for this week. So all kinds of stuff coming out. I can't believe we did 5 weeks in a row this week. 5 episodes in already. I really enjoyed doing the show. I'm learning a lot about a lot of things that are coming out, and I'm adding a lot of things to my wish list. So I don't know how good the show is for my wallet, But I enjoy learning about these things, and I enjoy talking about them with you guys. Thank you guys all who have popped in this evening. It was a fun show, and I really enjoyed doing this. And I will be back next week for another one of these. And I've already got a few videos shot that will be in the pipeline. I've got a new episode of the Criterion Corner podcast that I shot with Connor about Island of Lost Souls, which will be edited and up soon. And then I just shot the October wrap-up where we rank all 13 of the pre-code horror films. Me and Grace did that video together, and that'll be up soon too as well. Until next time, keep collecting, and I will be back with lots more videos very soon. Thanks for joining, guys.